Tzu Chi Las Vegas liaison office hosts free dental clinic for thousands of homeless people. 5 grandmas in Malaysia dedicate their time to become official Tzu Chi's recycling volunteers. Welcome to Dial Headlines. I'm Maggie Tai. Thank you for joining us. Since 2015, Tzu Chi Las Vegas liaison office has been providing free dental services to homeless people in the area. Thousands of low-income and uninsured people have received the help, making them feel respected and cared for.
In this vacation town of Las Vegas, there are still many homeless people living on the streets. The local government and some charity groups provide them with daily necessities. Yet, the expensive dental care is rarely included. In view of this, Tzu Chi holds a free dental clinic to care for their oral health.
I got some clothes, I got a haircut, I had 3 extractions, and I got some reading glasses. You can see how people are sincere in what they're doing. They seem to be taking it from heart, made you feel like you're somebody.
I think y'all doing a great job. It's something that we really need.
The people, I guess, they're nice. They're just helpful.
We need to know their name, age, and some other information like health condition. Most importantly, we need to know whether they have any drug allergy.
I received help before. I also need to help others, so I decided to be a volunteer.
We're a bit reluctant to walk through this area in Las Vegas. Although the living environment here is not so favorable, we hope that the care we provide will improve and beautify the area where these residents live.
Volunteers help cultivate kindness in everybody's heart. The patients do not only receive the practical treatment offered by the free clinic, but most importantly, they can be treated with respect and equality.
In Taiwan, the Ministry of Health and Welfare held an award ceremony to recognize medical professionals who promote organ donations with Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital and Dalian Tzu Chi Hospital. According to the ministry, more than 10,000 patients are waiting for organ transplants, and 845 people have undergone transplant surgeries. Let's join the event.
The Ministry of Health and Welfare held an award ceremony to recognize the people who promote organ donations. Even though promoting organ donation is their job, it is very difficult to ask people to turn their sorrow into great love.
How do you explain this to people you know? You'll feel it's very different. My colleagues' father and mothers gives me a lot of support and encouragement. It makes me feel that I'm more reluctant than their parents to do it.
Organ donors and their families are teaching us with their lives. They taught us that in our lives, we need to cherish each other.
Tzu Chi has been promoting organ donations, and this time in the group category, Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital and Dalian Tzu Chi Hospital were recognized. Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital's number of people registered organ donors under their national health insurance card has been number 1 among all hospitals for the 3rd consecutive year.
The Master hopes we can turn the unless into great use. That means we need to make the best use of our bodies. We seize all the opportunities to promote such a concept in educational training, recycling station, gatherings, and classes.
Members of the public should not wait till the end to make a decision about organ donation. We should understand the great love involved in organ donation and know the concept. This is our goal in asking people to sign the donor card.
It takes the help of many people to promote organ donations. Thanks to the dedication of this group of people, the strength of love is able to be passed on.
To thank organ donors and their families, Hualien Tzu Chi Medical Center held its annual organ donation gratitude concert. This year's theme is the Messengers of Love. Many organ transplant recipients seized the opportunity to express their gratitude.
Remembering the organ donors, the participants honor these unsung heroes. Hualien Tzu Chi Medical Center held an organ donor gratitude concert to honor these heroes and fighters for life.
I've heard that Master said that we only have the right to use our bodies. We do not own them. After understanding such an idea, I hope my son's body can be used to save more people, to ensure more people can stay healthy.
Thanks to the trust of the organ donors and their families, and for their selfless decision, more people are given hope.
I appreciate this organ donor who gave his cornea to me. I can now read newspapers and magazines, reading words with font size 12. I do not need to use any special appliances. I can see very clearly. In the future, if there's a chance, I will pass the love forward.
Medical professionals witness life and death every day, and therefore they respect life. Not giving up on saving any life, they hope more people will be willing to safeguard the health of the public.
Tzu Chi Baru chapter hosted a new youth scholarship distribution into local Chinese schools. They provided financial aid to 155 empowered students to pursue their education. Students also showed filial piety to parents in the tea ceremony. Students receive the scholarship from volunteers. The funds can help them purchase stationery and nutritious food so they can pursue education without worry.
This is my first time to receive Tzu Chi scholarship. I will use it to buy daily necessities and school supplies.
I'll save the money to buy food or some uniforms and books.
Membelikan baju sekolah atau buku begitu.
Every time of the year, their school begins, and we need to prepare the money to buy uniform, shoes, and books. That time was difficult because I have 5 children in school. With this scholarship, my life will be a lot more easier.
My children is going to middle school. I'm a single mom and I haven't got a job in 2 months. So this scholarship is very helpful. During my hard times, it can help me to buy books and pay tuition for my children. I'm thankful for Tzu Chi for the aid.
Tzu Chi hosted an information session before distributing the scholarship to school representatives to better understand the meaning of it.
Tzu Chi wants to help impoverished students and they don't mind the students' school performances. They want to really help poor families. Even the students are not doing well academically. They still offer to help.
Sumbangan yang Tzu Chi berikan ini memang benar-benar membantu mengurangkan beban hidup mereka lah. Ada kalangan dari mereka yang memang hilang pendapatan.
Tzu Chi's financial aid have really lessened their family burden. Many of them have no family income, and Tzu Chi has offered strong support to them so they can continue their lives and pursue a better future.
Hidup mereka dan untuk menuju kepada masa depan yang baik lah.
Former scholarship recipients also came to encourage the new recipients.
No matter what your family condition is, studying is necessary. Improve yourself and give back to the society and Tzu Chi.
The activity encouraged students to show filial piety to their parents.
My mom has to work every day and she didn't have a lot of time to spend with us. Also, we don't have much food to eat and I use the old backpacks and clothes from my brothers and sisters. I also need to borrow pens, pencils, and erasers from others. Now I have more confidence and I want to study well so I can help my mom.
The scholarship has not only helped the impoverished students, but has also spread the seed of love and created a good cycle in society. There are 5 seniors whose average age is nearly 80 years old. During recycling in Klang, Malaysia every day, they decided to help in the recycling station together. They even finished training and received their recycling volunteer certification, dedication their golden years to serve the community.
Five seniors report to the recycling station 5 days a week. Tzu Chi, who is a Tzu Chi volunteer, is responsible for driving them there.
I think it's my responsibility to bring them here because all of them are seniors. They chat and laugh every day like that. I'm also happy to have some good friends like them.
The 5 seniors, who are inseparable, are the volunteers at the recycling station in Clan Slanyang. They do recycling together, enriching their life after retirement.
Before I came here, I usually stayed at home doing nothing or watch TV every day. I told my daughter that I wanted to join Tzu Chi to do recycling. I told her that this was a kind of filial piety if she allowed me to do what I wanted.
Now my grandchildren are grown up, so that I do not need to stay at home to take care of them. I can help a lot here, like sorting papers or CDs. Or sometimes I will help preparing meals in the kitchen.
Another volunteer, Grandma Ong Ya Yuan, has suffered from illnesses before, yet this did not affect her dedication at the recycling station.
I've undergone 8 operations for my brain and spine altogether. Although my body is sore every morning, I insist on coming here to do recycling.
The 5 grandmas not only do recycling here, but also offer their help whenever necessary.
Before I joined Tzu Chi, my temper was quite violent. Later, I heard the master's teachings that we should be peaceful and forgiving. We can cultivate compassion and kindness here. I've learned a lot.
I gambled in the past. My friends will call me every day to invite me. At first, I didn't want to be certified as a recycling volunteer, yet the volunteers said it will be pity not to do so. Finally, I agreed to do certification and give up gambling.
The 5 grandmas continue to serve the community, enriching the second half of their lives.
74-year-old Tan Pak Liu is a dedicated Tzu Chi volunteer. Although she developed cancer, she did not let the illness get her down. Instead, she now uses all the time she can to be very active at the recycling center.
Riding her scooter, 74-year-old Tan Pak Liu is delivering receipts to her donating members. She has been doing this for the past 10 years.
Hello! Selamat pagi.
I've known her for 14 years. I know that donations are used to help people in trouble, like floods and earthquakes.
I can't lose connection, we must develop them. I bring the monthly magazine for him to read, and as time goes on, we formed a friendship.
Tan Pak Liu joined Tzu Chi in Malacca in 2010. And after her experience with cancer, she knows she must seize each day to do charitable deeds. Thus, she reports to the recycling station 5 times a week.
I'm full of ailments, but I must come here in the morning. I cannot stay at home. I must move and be active. This way my health is kept up. There's much to do at the recycling station, and I do everything. It makes me happy to contribute.
These secondhand items are organized and kept clean by her and other volunteers. Tan's kindness makes her easy to get along with.
She's very agile, a hard worker who doesn't complain. When she sees that I can't lift something, she will rush over to help me. That's how sweet she is.
When it looks dirty, as long as you wash it, it'll look good as new. Being in Tzu Chi, I've learned a lot, all very meaningful things. Time can be brought back, and we age each year. It's never the same, so I must do what I can in the time that I have. I cannot wait.
Time waits for no one, as in living a meaningful life is the biggest fulfillment for her.
Recently in Malaysia, Tzu Chi volunteer was invited to share his experience at a waste management training course. The participants of the training course also visited Tzu Chi's recycling education station in Penang to better understand how Tzu Chi volunteers promote environmental protection.
Presenter, the next speaker, Recycling for Charity by Mr. Xiao Yikong.
We focus on education, educate the public how to do recycle. So we try to do whatever we can to educate them.
Tzu Chi has built up a good relationship with the government, and it is invited to share its recycling principles. The participants of the training course also visited a recycling education station in Penang to understand how Tzu Chi promotes environmental protection.
As a resident, we will teach them to say, okay, they have to sort it out by themselves. So this thing, they have to put it here. So they sort it by themselves, so they put it into this category. So this is the only place they will do sorting.
In June of 1997, Penang City volunteers mobilized 200 people to promote recycling in a large district of rental apartments. City volunteers have been promoting recycling in Penang for 22 years. Their hard work has earned the government's recognition.
Congratulations to Buddhist Tzu Chi Merit Society Malaysia.
In 2016, the volunteers were awarded Penang Environmental Sustainability Award by former Chief Minister of Penang.
We move forward in the direction of environmental education. We must be educators and not just people who recycle. We hope that recycling is just the beginning and people will carry out the environmental protection principles in life.
Currently, as city volunteers do recycling, they also promote environmental protection in communities and schools. They help to raise people's environmental awareness in the society.
就是你们人类所谓的方便又好用。
旅馆那边装sampah dan kertas. Oke. Terima kasih.
If we did not wash the drink bottles, what will they attract? Ants, so we need to wash them.
From the public's point of view, they might see that we are only recycling resources. In fact, this is only a small part of environmental protection because we do not only do recycling, we're protecting the environment. We are environmental educators.
Recycling is only one of the ways to protect the environment. Only when people lessen their desires and cherish resources can people really protect the environment in the long term.
Do you know that 99.9% of Taiwan's wheat is imported? This is despite the fact that the country produces an excess of 200,000 tons of rice each year, which is put into storage, ultimately expiring and being used for livestock feed. Furthermore, since joining the WTO, the average price of imported rice is just 1/4 the price of domestic rice, which is complicating the problem. Here's more.
Where I'm standing is a public grain warehouse of Taoyuan's Longtan. You can see that rice stored here is almost up to the ceiling. It's quite a lot because the rice harvest across Taiwan is more than 1.5 million tons, a 10% increase over 2018.
Our old rice hasn't been consumed yet, and the new rice is coming in. More rice around Taiwan means government warehouses have limited capacity.
More than 1,800 granaries in Taiwan have the same situation. The balance between production and sales has increased the cost of rice storage, and the price of rice has fallen. According to statistics, Taiwan's annual rice production is 1.4 million tons, while Taiwanese eat just 1.2 million tons of rice each year. In other words, 200,000 tons of rice are stored in public grain warehouses. This, together with prior amounts stored, means that there is currently more than 800,000 tons of rice in public granaries, which is more than twice the 4-month safety stock. Why is domestic rice in such a long-term oversupply condition?
What do I eat for breakfast? Usually mantou or bread.
Do you like to eat rice or noodles? Noodles.
In the 1980s, every Taiwanese ate hundreds of kilograms of white rice each year. Now has only 45 kilograms. The amount of rice eaten has fallen sharply by more than half, and the people do not eat rice, but they are replaced by pasta. People's annual wheat intake is as high as 38 kilograms, accounting for 84% of rice. The impact of Western diets such as burgers and pasta has changed consumption patterns, with the government telling people to eat more rice. This has led to little to no increase. This also aggravates the government's policy of guaranteed purchase price for rice.
If rice sits for a long time, it gets old and sells for a very little, as the government will lose a lot of money.
Storage for more than 2 years leads to degradation, as this rice can only be used as feed. However, the government originally bought it at a price of $1 per kilogram and only selling it at 30 US cents. This loss is wasting taxpayer money.
Guaranteed purchases cost $657 million each year, which is wasting the people's money.
The cost of rice in Taiwan is $1,100 to $1,200 per ton, which is 2 to 3 times that of Vietnamese rice. Therefore, international competitiveness is weak and most of the rice is sold domestically.
Taiwan's price for domestically produced rice is being artificially raised by the government. In fact, it is the second highest in the world after Tokyo.
In
previous years, the sales of rice in Taiwan were probably only about 2,000 or 3,000 tons a year. Recently, we have actively tried to let this rice not become low-cost feed for animals.
In 2002, Taiwan joined the WTO, and in addition to surplus rice, it has to import 140,000 tons of foreign rice each year, which is complicating the local rice problem.
Imported Vietnam rice is almost 50 US cents for a Taiwan catty, which is much cheaper than domestic rice. This has a big impact upon the market.
As a result, public granaries are full every year, with the Agriculture and Food Administration trying to digest these stocks. Under the management of the government, the problem with excess rice continues and is still unresolved. Over the past few years, it encouraged farmers to switch to miscellaneous grains and not only plant rice.
If the government wants to pay, then the fields should go fallow and avoid planting rice. If they don't go fallow, then cultivating too much rice will lead the price of rice to collapse.
The self-sufficiency rate of domestic rice and fishery products is more than 100%. Vegetables and fruits have a self-sufficiency rate of more than 85%, and meat is 75%. At first glance, Taiwan's total food self-sufficiency rate should be high, but the actual conversion is only 32%.
Why is the food self-sufficiency rate so low? Because we eat a lot of wheat, and also we import a lot of soybeans. What do we do with soybeans? We make cooking oil, so our overall food self-sufficiency rate becomes reduced.
The self-sufficiency rate of wheat and soybeans is less than 1% and 2%, respectively. In other words, pasta bread and raw materials for oil are almost entirely dependent on foreign imports. Therefore, the price and import volume of these foods are in the hands of foreigners.
In the past few food crises, many of the world's major food exporters have the so-called restrictions on exports.
Global food shortage caused by natural disasters, wars, and diseases could have a major impact on Taiwan, which has a low total food self-sufficiency rate. However, when facing a sharp decline in wheat imports, there's plenty of rice which can feed the nation.
When the world is in the food crisis, no one in Taiwan will feel the food crisis, because the rice we have in stock will not fluctuate like the price of foreign food.
Excess rice one day may become a life-saving food. This is the value of rice. We should all appreciate how rice can be life-giving and support our continued existence.
Tzu Chi Lounge at Jingsi Books and Cafe at Yujing Elementary School in Tainan, so students can enrich their mind through reading. Take a look and see you next time.